He was on the trail in Iowa not long ago, but he's no politician, and he's not looking for votes. He's looking for diamonds in the rough. With Lee Cowan, meet American picker Mike Wolfe.
I've still got that. You need to buy that. I need to buy that.
Antique stores are generally home for relics of the past, not newly minted celebrities.
Where are you guys from?
New Jersey.
Oh, cool. What's going on?
How are you?
How you
But
doing?
at Antique Archaeology, here in LeClaire, Iowa,
Hi, nice to meet you.
shop owner Mike Wolfe gives you some star power along with the dust.
Every one of these people write my check. Every one of them do. So I try to spend as much time as I can with them, and if we don't rise to the occasion all the time, then I feel like I've failed. Yeah, this thing here I pulled out of a shed in Alabama.
If you recognize him, it's probably because you're not only into rusty bits of Americana,
We travel the back roads of America.
but you're also a viewer of the History Channel's American Pickers.
How about $1,100 and we'll just call it a day?
All right.
All right, man. All right, thanks.
If you haven't seen it, it's sort of like Antiques Roadshow mixed with an episode of Hoarders.
We just got done cleaning it.
You did?
Wolfe tried to sell the show for 5 years,
Oh, my God.
but nobody really knew what a picker was,
We're pickers from Iowa.
including the History Channel.
I said, here's the deal, man. You're the History Channel. Let's educate them. Let's tell them what a picker is. I do $200.
In short, it's someone who picks over other collectors' collections, hoping to buy a piece or two to give it a new life somewhere else.
I'm pumped for picking.
With his longtime buddy Frank Fritz riding shotgun, they drive some 70,000 miles a year, hunting for pieces of history that captured their attention.
Like when you walk into an antique shop, chances are 95% of the time, it's that dealer is not buying all of that stuff.
It comes
They
from
rely
folks like
on
you.
people. Yeah, exactly. We're in the trenches, we're on the front lines looking for these things for them.
What would it take for you to break up with her?
But for Wolfe, the show and his career aren't really about the hunt, or surprisingly, even peddling what they find.
Hey, Jack.
How you doing?
Okay.
It's about the people in small-town America who collect all this stuff to begin with.
That's the passion for it for you. That's the...
Yes, it's fascinating to me, and people constantly ask me to try to get into the mind of a collector, and I'm a collector myself, and I don't even understand my mind as much as trying to explain it half the time, so I'm trying to explain everybody else's mindset.
Do you think you're a little bit eccentric?
I don't think I'm smart enough to be eccentric. Don't you? Don't you have to be smart, like super genius-like, to be eccentric? I don't know. I mean,
Wolfe is the product of the rural America that he finds so fascinating. He grew up the oldest of 3 kids in Bettendorf, Iowa, raised by a single mom.
my father left when I was 2. My mom told me a story once that he was supposed to come for Christmas, and I stood there at the window all day looking for him, and he never came.
His family couldn't afford luxuries like a bicycle, but one day, on his way to school, Wolfe spotted one in the trash.
It was one of those big garbage days. I was cutting through this yard, and I remember seeing that it was a girl's bike, and I picked that up, and I was amazed that someone would throw out a bike. And so I thought to myself, if someone would throw out a bike, what else would they throw out? So that's why I started digging in the garbage constantly. Even if it wasn't a big garbage day, I was always in the trash cans and stuff.
He still spends his days that way. He relishes rust in a way the rest of us savor a glass of wine.
This is great.
Yeah, it's a 1935 Ford panel that came out of Ohio.
Especially motorcycles. Old Harleys and Indians have a habit of making their way into his own collection.
But when you're in here late at night, all by yourself,
You're going to get me. All of these things in here were someone else's dreams. They were someone else's world. It's like there's a magic to it. It's magical. It says Yankee on the motor.
And that magic doesn't just stop with rescuing old relics that he finds in those small towns. Sometimes it's trying to save the towns themselves.
How big will the beam be above the window?
Wolfe has become a one-man preservation army. He spent millions buying and restoring old Main Street buildings. He started in his native Iowa, LeClaire specifically, and then he expanded his restoration efforts
This
here
building here, I bought this about 3.5 years ago.
to the charming little town of Columbia, Tennessee, just outside Nashville.
I love old buildings. I mean, they speak to me. They really have personalities. And when I walk into a building that has such historic presence, it gives me the chills.
One of his projects includes this old Chevy dealership, built in 1947. He's turning what used to be the showroom into brand new retail space.
This was like a huge asset, like a flagship for the community, and that's kind of, to be honest with you, what I want it to be again.
The oldest building he's rescued is this one, built back in 1857. Now, it's a bustling bicycle shop.
So what we're going to do is have Ben hang this from this spot up here above the dressing room.
Above that showroom are 2 Airbnb apartments for those who want to experience small-town Main Street for the night.
These aren't just buildings, and these aren't just small-town corridors. All of these places matter for one reason or another, and some can survive and some can't. But if we don't try as individuals, then who are we as a society?
It's such a passion of his that when he was younger and living in LeClaire, Iowa, he ran for city council for no other reason than to help restore Main Street.
I ran for city council because I used to walk down these streets at night with my dog and think about what this place could be.
One of the restorations he's most proud of here is this one, what used to be LeClaire's grocery store. And he's not done yet. He wants to buy more before they crumble away.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you want to see small-town America, if you want to see Main Street, get in your car and drive and go take a trip with your family because it is disappearing rapidly.
For Mike Wolfe, the past isn't just bits of rusty gold.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
It's a reminder of where we came from, a lifestyle we can still touch and learn from. If we give our main streets a chance to speak.
You almost talk about some of these towns like a first date.
You know what? I do have emotional affairs with a lot of these communities. It was our honor to look through your stuff.
Hey, buddy, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tony.
Are you glad we came by?
Absolutely.
We had a good time. It was fun.
This is our time to make a difference, you know? So if I can do that in any way, I want to be a part of that.